Hey guys, back with video number 7.2. I'm calling it 7.2 because this is strictly about the engine buildup. Here's where I am right now. I've got the cylinder, the engine head off, the valves. So the valves look good. I mean, I don't really see anything out of the ordinary. And here's the top, the valves. They all look good here. Everything looks in place. Nothing warped that I can tell. I still have to get a valve spring compressor to get these valves out, to get them cleaned up. Here's the plugs. A lot of questions on the plugs here. See if we can get this to zoom in here. This is the number 3 piston. I think this was my treble piston. I'll show you later why I think this, but I mean, I can't tell if this is white. I guess it is like gray down in there, which means that it ran lean. Here's another one. See if you can see that here. But I guess it ran lean. Not quite sure. Another piston plug here. So, like I said, I got to get a valve spring compressor, get these valves out, get them cleaned up, see what they look like. But the major problem that I did find when I got down to this point here is that trying to get this thing to focus. There we go. This is the number 3 piston right here, and you can see the top. See how there is carbon on every other piston, but this one, it's clean on this and this, which means it was hitting the top of the valve head. And I took it, and if you see here, I can actually move this thing up and down. The rest of the pistons, they don't move up and down. They're pretty solid. I mean, they go back and forth like they're supposed to, pivot. But as far as up and down on the actual crank, it's not moving. But this one, I can move it up and down. Hard to see on the video, I know, but the rest of them are good. So I know that's a major problem. I mean, the last thing you want is your piston hitting the valve head. So, here's my cylinder head. It looked good. There's no... I mean, there was some light scratches, but nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, that looks real good. I'm still going to hone it out. But this number 3 piston is a problem. And it's exactly what I think thought it was going to be, or hoping it wouldn't be, was the, it's either the main bearings, or it's the crank shaft. It's I don't know, something wrong with it. Bottom line is, it's a bigger issue than I thought it was going to be. The rings look good. I mean, I'm going to replace them, obviously, but they were all intact. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary on these. I mean, so I don't know if it's a bolt stretch problem because it was going up and down, and hitting the valve cover, or the valves head, that it was stretching the bolt, and that's what's causing this play, or if it's the bearings themselves, where they're writing in the journals of the crank are bad, a bad crank. I don't know, but like I said, I'm following 40-hour days build thread on his engine rebuild, and he had the exact same problem. And furthermore, he had gotten a parts bike from somebody that had an engine. He tore it down, and it had the exact same problem. The number 3 piston, exact same problem. It was clean here, and it had about, I would say, 1/8 of an inch of play up and down. So that's definitely a problem. I don't think that it was the problem of my failure. I mean, I think I heard it as far as the knocking, but the way it was running, this wouldn't dictate the way it was running. Really rough, and then when they got to a stoplight, it would die unless I kept it revved up. That to me was more of it wasn't running on all cylinders. So I fouled the plug out, or all these cylinders weren't firing. And again, I'm learning as I go, trying to diagnose this with very little experience. So I don't know. So basically, I'm to this point. I'm going to finish breaking this engine down. Like I said, I've got the top two heads off here, and then I got to take some more stuff out. I got to take the clutch out. I got to take this out. I got to, on this side over here, I got to get this alternator out. I got to disassemble, disconnect it from the drive shafts, a few other things, and then I can pull this engine out. But it's got these long bolts here, so I got to build. I got some wood there. I got to build some sort of a frame for it to turn upside down, but I don't want it resting on these bolts, obviously. So I got to build something that'll support the engine and not let these bolts turn, hit the ground while turning it upside down. So then I can split the cases and get to the crankshaft and find out why there's play in the number 3 piston. Again, whether it's the bearings, it's the rods themselves, or what. But then I got to figure out how I'm going to get parts for this 30-year-old bike. So I don't know, but that's where I'm at. I'll be shooting more videos. This is 7.2. This is probably going to be 7.3, 0.4, 0.5 until I get this back together. That's where I'm at. Any other questions or help or direction? Again, I'm learning. Let me know. Thanks.